So today a bill passed the House of Representatives, and I want to discuss this bill because this means 30 plus million children are about to receive a huge benefit. And here's what we know. Today, the House extended the school meal program. I'm going to address this in today's video. But here's some scary facts. In the United States, there's roughly 50 million school-age children, 30 million of which qualify for free or reduced lunches. That's an astounding 60% of children. That's huge. Now, what is even more astounding is that 1 out of every 6 children live in poverty. 15% of children are food insecure, and there are still very little conversations about finding a solution for children. But today, the House of Representatives did pass a bipartisan bill that would provide roughly $3 billion to continue funding for free meals to lower income families. This bill actually passed 376 to 42. So this bill was a very bipartisan bill. It wasn't just 5 or 10 Republicans. It was the majority of Republicans supported this idea. Now, this provision, this bill, is going to extend the pandemic era provision that is set to expire on July 1st. So in just 8 days. Yeah, it was going to expire. And this would have provided, this would have been a huge disservice to millions of children. But this is where this is a different provision. This is a different bill. If this provision is passed, and the reason why I say if it's passed is because it still has to go through the Senate, and the Senate does have a couple people that are not 100% on board with it just yet. So, here's what we know. This provision, okay, this was passed, the initial provision was passed towards the beginning of the pandemic, and this allowed all students to get free lunches. This was a huge help. Now, there was no application process that parents need to take part in order for their child to get these benefits. Every student received free lunches. Now, again, it was a huge benefit, and they also got free lunches not just during school, but during the summer as well. Well, this provided millions and millions of families with this added comfort of their child would not go hungry. Well, now, through the Keep Kids Fed Act of 2022, there's some major differences in this bill, and I want to go over these because this is why there's a lot of Republicans that are in favor of this because of the way this bill was crafted. First, not everyone's going to receive free lunches. That's a big thing. If you make too much money, your family makes too much money, that the child is not going to receive free lunches. This program will also offer free meals to more students. Okay, so even though the high-income earners aren't going to be able to get free lunches for their children, the limit is going to be lifted a little bit, right? So some good news there. But again, families have to fill out the application in order to qualify. If you don't fill it out, you do not qualify. This is different than the pandemic era where everybody just walk in, grab a free lunch. It didn't matter, right? Now, one of the waivers, because this is what this provision is. It's a lot of waivers. One of the waivers will allow schools to continue to provide grab-and-go lunches. This is different because normally you have to gather and eat your lunch more of in a congregate setting. But it's different now, according to this waiver. But again, this still has to pass. In this bill, there's also waivers that allow schools extra funding to provide for rising costs of food and labor. And one of the things that is provided or has provided a massive help to schools is in the bill, it provided a waiver that allowed school staff to go and buy food from a local store. Because what we've seen over the past is if the school didn't have enough meals, they had to figure out a way to provide enough meals. Do they ration the portions that they have? Or do they go and buy more meals from, let's say, a store, a grocery store? The problem there is the meals most likely are going to cost more. Or they're not going to get the same or have the same nutritional standards that the government wants us to have. So that's kind of the difference, and that's where another waiver is coming in. We also know where the United States is transitioning to, because we're already getting a lot of reports that schools are already telling families that, you know what, we're raising prices on our school meals. We have to. So families that do not get free school lunch, you're going to have to pay more. So just keep that in mind. If you're planning on having your child eat at school, chances are it's going to cost you a little bit more if you don't get that free lunch. Now, at some point, and again, I want to be very clear on this, it's already been stated multiple times. This is one of the reasons why some lawmakers are going against this bill, because they say that we've already gone through 2 years of this. Let's slowly work our way out. So the expectation is at some point these waivers are going to go away. The school meal program will go back to normal, right? So it's going to happen at some point. We just don't know exactly when. This also means that this new bill has to pass first. And we know multiple Senate Republicans are not 100% in favor of this bill, don't support it just yet. And it's not because they don't like the bill and they don't support handing out meals to children, because that's not the issue. The issue is either it's the income limit is just too high, or, and this is the big one, right now Republicans, and I quote, do not want to hand Democrats a win this close to the election. That's what it's going to come down to, is do Democrats win or get a slight little boost because of passing something like this, which would be a bipartisan bill? Probably. And so that's why some don't like it, okay? But again, remember, Senate has to pass this. The House of Representatives already did. They passed it earlier today. The Senate still needs to pass the same bill that the House passed. They have to do it by July 1st, or this program will expire and children won't receive the lunches that they were getting before. So this is something that I promise I will be keeping a very close eye on. So make sure you're subscribed, and I will keep you up to date on what's going on next. So again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If you have any questions on this, okay, let me know, because I completely understand this is one of those things that it's a lot of people have questions on school lunches, on pandemic EBT, and I'll address more pandemic EBT related stuff most likely this weekend. So again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of those updates as well. But again, there's a lot of uncertainty about what's coming. So again, make sure you're subscribed. I promise I'll do my best, do the research, figure out what is there for you. If there's more pandemic related assistance, I will figure that out, and I will let you know, where is it coming from? Is it for specific states, for specific people? I promise I'll keep you updated on everything. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.